goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Great. I believe that it's great. It feels more personal because it was the first one to come out as a single, and the writing process was very different to the other ones. So we literally wrote it with my producer, Chris Cara, in a jam session. So it was different than the others, and it felt more special. So yeah, great. At the beginning, I felt kind of relieved because it was a very stressful period. After that, I felt sad because it was over, and a bit depressed because, it was just over. Especially after the presentations, I was crying full on. But now I'm happy about it because it's something that I'm proud of and I can look back to. There was not just one person in mind or one thing. So the actual album is about locked up emotions that, stayed over for a very long time, and it was time for them to come out. It's a matter of inspiration. There's nothing that someone can teach you to actually write your own music or lyrics. There are a few steps and a few guidelines, but from that onwards, it is just purely inspiration. Favorite song to record was Why Don't You Love Me, because it was the first song I wrote and it was far more personal than the other songs. So it was very emotional, and it was the moment where I felt more relieved. Hardest song to record was Awake because of the crazy vocals in the song, and I was actually getting over a small illness involving a sore throat, so that was really not fun but entertaining at the same time, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, my favorite moment or part was actually getting to hear the songs just fully produced and recorded and hear the end result, and obviously then releasing it and seeing the people's reaction to every single song. My least favorite part of the process was all that stress involved with coordinating everything, small fights here and there, which is more than normal to have in a recording process or production process. But I think most of the recording part, producing part, and releasing was just amazing. Like, I look back now and I just smile through it. Well, honestly, I really want to change my, next album in comparison to the first one. So, not the genre, but I would keep the same instruments used in a different way. What would I change? Nothing, because it just came out how it should. I mean, I did change now as a person and as a musician. I have more experience right now, so yeah, I would do it differently with my mindset of this moment, but I wouldn't change the past. It is what it is, and it's there for a reason. So, as I said numerous times in the past, every single song came out of a bottled up emotion. So all those emotions felt like an infinity to me. So like things that wouldn't stop happening, stop occurring. And releasing that album felt like I was breaking that infinity. It felt like I was stopping that horrible depressive cycle. Yes, it's actually from the song Grey, and it's the moment where it says hang on for life. I feel very connected to that for some reason, because it just gives me the sense that you have to keep on fighting no matter what. Well, my graphic designer was right behind the camera, Marios Sellas. You should guys look him up. He felt that the album gave a very grounded and ethereal feeling. So that's what he told me, at least. So as soon as he pictured the songs, he thought of trees, because that feels grounded and ethereal, like the music. And that's why there are trees on the album cover. I didn't feel like I was the right person to do so, because I was already, the singer of the EP. I co-wrote lyrics, music. It was just too much. So, and I am kind of a perfectionist, so it would drag things, into longer time. And I mean, Chris Cara felt like the right person. It was annoying because, being a perfectionist, you want to do things over and over and over again until you get that perfect shot or a perfect recording, etc., etc. And thank God I had my producer, who didn't actually let me go to that extent where you keep on doing the same thing over and over again until it's perfect in your own ears, because there is no such thing as perfect. So it was controllable, but at the same time very annoying. I felt a lot of pressure, but yeah. Well, as I've said before, all songs have a different personal meaning. Some of them are about family relationships, some are about people passing away, and different personal things like that. But I think the most important part of releasing a song or an album or an EP, whatever you want to name it, is letting the audience actually having their own meaning about each song. A song, for example, like Broken, to me is about two friends of mine that passed away, but to someone else it might stand for a relationship, or I don't know, their family relationships again, their friends, or anything like that. So I'll just leave it as it should be. They're all meaningful to me, very differently. The one that I'm more attached to is Grey, because it was a single. It's just, my first baby. But yeah, they're all meaningful. I can't just pick one. It's like a mother having to choose between, her kids. It's not possible. So the EP design, it's funny looking at you. It wasn't hard to come up with an idea. My graphic designer, who again, I repeat, is behind the camera. He had the right ideas, but it took a bit of a, it took a long time until we actually landed on the perfectionist design. So it was kind of like a lot of back and forths, but it was the same concept. Again, that grounded, ethereal vibe. Awake, because I was not a big part of it. I literally hate being in front of a camera. So I'm hating this process right now. Funnily enough, I do hate it. So I just enjoyed Awake because it was, my videographer, Anton Cinematic, filming a friend of mine, and, the little kid, Jonas, that plays in, who's one of my favorite kids on the planet. And it was enjoyable seeing the process of someone else being filmed. I loved all the videos generally, but my favorite one was Awake for the reasons I mentioned. Yes. I do have covers that are gonna, get uploaded and posted soon, because they're already done and recorded and filmed. But I think everyone does covers. You don't stop. It's part of the industry. It's part of what we do. So yes. There are no plans right now, but why not? Hit me up. Awake, because we actually had a proper meeting about it, so it wasn't just different ideas over the phone or over coffee. So it was my producer, my videographer, and I sitting down and discussing about different concepts that could match the title and the lyrics. So I came up with this idea of, what about awake being something not real, like not actually sleeping and waking up. So in this case, it was a kid who lost a parent, and kept on seeing her or trying to find her. And at the end, where he becomes awake, he realizes that this ain't possible. Like, this can't happen. She's gone.